everyone. Welcome to the panel. How are we feeling?
Last day. Woo!
Woo! Last panel on the last day. Yeah, I'm going to choose to believe you, even though that sounded incredibly unenthused, but that's all right. Welcome to Contest Track. This is horrendous. Okay, welcome to Contest Track, the full experience. So if you were at any of the other cosplay contest support series events throughout the weekend, this is kind of where we culminate all of the information that we've learned throughout in all the sessions / cover anything that we did not get to cover in the other sessions or yay! Even better.
Qualified, competent people.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yes. Additionally, this is an opportunity for us to learn from each other, talk through all the things. If you were at any of the sessions, Tiffany and I and Tekka talked through our credentials. We run cosplay contests. We compete, and we judge cosplay contests and have been doing so for years and consult for other shows. So we have a wealth of experience. Tekka is similarly situated where she's just done every single thing that there is to do. Also awesome that Evil Cosplay could join us today because she was one of the judges at the cosplay contest. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
If you want to, yeah. And so she can also offer some great insight on cosplay contests and competing. We won't cover anything kind of related specific to this contest here. We're just talking about contests in general, and then we're going to do some exercises today to just kind of talk through all of that good stuff. So, yay.
Wow. We have a mascot.
All right, before we jump in, how many of you all have competed before?
Yes.
The tentative hands. Okay, 2 people. How many of you all are? Three. Okay, I see you over there. How many folks are thinking about competing? Okay, great.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, yes, I see a tentative hand. Your hand will come up.
Fresh meat. No,
Your hand will come up before we before we end. Thank you. And so that's great. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Since there's so few of you all, we'll just do it together, huh? Go ahead. Okay. What did you say? I think we should divide people in groups.
You think
okay,
so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's not that many people. Okay, sorry, this is participatory. I see you leaving because you don't want to participate. It's okay. All right, so if you'd like to participate, basically we're going to do an exercise where we work through a cosplay contest with a competitor. So we're going to have 3 different groups of people. We'll have a contestant group, so you'll work through the problems as a contestant, a judging group where you'll work through the problems as a judge, and then a showrunner group where you'll work through things as a showrunner. So we're going to number you off, we'll number you. We'll make it so it's random. Okay. So if you'd like to participate, please come to the front of the room. We promise it's not that bad. Won't be bad. It's not hard. It's not hard. Yes. There's not going to be a quiz. Thank you for volunteering.
Thank you.
Come to the front. Come to the front. Come to the front. Come to the front.
You can sit. That's fine. You
You don't have to stand. We're not going to. It's not that kind of panel.
There's no right negative.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
My dear, if you're in the front, if you don't want to participate, you don't have to,
Yeah,
since you're already sitting here. We're not going to make you move.
Yeah, you're fine. No? Okay. All right. So if you'd like to participate, again, this is all just Q&A and thought processes. So we're going to number you off from 1 to 3, and we're going to sort of make 3 vague groups. So we'll start with you. 1. 1. You're 1. 1. You're 3. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, yay, we did it. That was easy. That was the first test. So, yeah, yay! Thank you.
So you are now 2.
Yes. So we want all the ones sit over here, since there's 2, 3 of you on this side. The middle will be the 2s.
And the 3s.
The 3s will be on the other side.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right,
Yeah.
perfect.
Perfect. Yay. Hopefully more participants. Are you all participating? Okay. We'll do.
You're
this
number
is 3, so you'll sit there.
right there.
You'll be number 1, and then you'll be number 2. So number 1.
We'll explain in a moment.
Yes. So number 1 in the dark black hoodie, right? You'll be right here, and then you in the purple mauve hoodie. Do you want to participate? Oh no. Okay. You're just here.
Never mind.
That's okay.
That's
no worries. All good. Okay. So we have our groups.
All right.
Cool.
So as we talked about, we're going to have a little scenario, and you're going to think through it like a showrunner, a contestant, or a judge. For those of you who weren't in the other sessions, kind of a general way of thinking about it is as a competitor, right? So you're the contestant in the costume who's entering a cosplay contest, and you encounter this person, so you're going to help do some problem solving. If you're in the judge group, you're the judge of this cosplay contest. So you're assessing the costumes, you're kind of making determinations of who's going to win, and then the showrunner, you're the god, basically, of the cosplay contest. So yes, put the crown on, it's fine. And you're in charge of kind of operations. You've hired the judge, you kind of run the work with the contestants, so you're going to think about the problem from that perspective. It's okay, frankly, if you've never occupied those roles in your life either, because this is just about thinking through how folks might do that. So we'll present the scenario and discussion to you, and then once we're done, we'll talk about how you problem solved, and then we'll offer some feedback on how that went. Sound good?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
I guess it doesn't matter if it didn't sound good, because we're doing it anyway, but
We'll tell you.
we're going to do it anyway.
You're here now, the doors are locked.
Right.
They're not,
Okay.
it's open.
That's right. Well, we'd lock them theoretically. There's an invisible barrier made out of mana that you can't get through. All right. Okay, so let's meet our cosplayer, Sue.
Oh,
So we're going to look at this in 3 kinds of stages. So this is a longish narrative, so I'm going to leave it up for us to read, and I will read it out loud. So pre-contest, right? So Sue is our first-time cosplay contestant preparing to enter StarCon's cosplay contest. Yay, StarCon!
Yay, Sue.
She heard about the event from a friend. Sue's friend didn't enjoy it when they competed, but since it's local, Sue decided to give it a try. Sue goes to the website to learn more about the contest and realizes there's a lot of information and is immediately overwhelmed. She sees information about craftsmanship and performance judging, something about a build book, and selecting a class. Anything about sewing is new. Sue is an experienced welder and foam smith, but doesn't know anything about sewing and is new to competing. She's not sure what to do. So here's your information about Sue. So you're going to think about how you're going to help Sue out as a fellow competitor in the contest. So you're meeting her, let's say, in like an online forum or something, as Sue's trying to figure this out. As a judge, this is who Sue is coming in before she's gotten into the contest. So how might you help Sue kind of figure some of this out? And then as the showrunner, how might you communicate information to Sue? You can think about this as like before the contest even starts, and even, again, in like some of those online forums or through email. So we're going to give you a couple minutes to work amongst yourselves to discuss. Make
Kind
sense?
of chat with each other
Yeah.
and be like,
Work together to solve the problems.
group work, group work.
I'm sorry. For what? I was just going to set a timer. Actually, I don't need to. I'm just going to look at the timer. How long do we say? 5 minutes? Like 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, is that real 5 minutes or is that your 1 minute?
It's really 6 minutes. I was just going to start at 6:20.
Because your 1 minute's 40 minutes and we only have
It's true. 1 minute is 40 minutes. 2 minutes is actually 15 minutes.
30 minutes 45.
30 minutes is 30 minutes.
Just to do that math, if you do math, the people go insane.
Because math sucks. Thank you for letting me hijack you from the audience, too.
That's fine.
Yay!
I'll sit up here with y'all.
Yay!
I mean, you lead most of this anyways with your slides, so.
Well, I'll lead it, but the discussion, I'm not going to talk at all. I think I'll just defer to you three to do that.
I sat through this last year while you guys did
Yeah,
this.
like, it's the same content.
Yes. I was like, oh yeah, it's the Sue thing.
Like, I've done this.
My favorite is like people that have never done either role, and they're like, oh,
They're like,
this is
what
it.
the
This is
fuck?
a thought.
Yeah.
First of all, why would you want to be a cosplay contest writer? That's your first mistake.
Step one, I came here to find out why.
Do you like being sweaty and running around carrying boxes? Do you enjoy being screamed at for things that aren't your fault?
Do you enjoy only having negative emails accusing you of being a horde of stupid things?
I should go get Lynn and tell her you're in here because she was looking for
I
you.
messaged her. I said I was in main event. But I mean, you can message her too.
Okay. Because she's like, I'm looking for.
Yeah. I was like, she's like, I can do Sunday. I'm like, okay. And then we sat down and looked at our schedules. I'm like, we're never going to see each other.
Oh, you're probably second notes. I thought you said
Sure, I'll steal one. I have one this morning. I'll take it on me.
But
Thank
allergies
you.
have been killing my
Well,
throat.
you've also been talking in a judging room for how many hours on end? We literally had these backstage every day when we had Sailor Moon because we'd be talking to so many people, we'd lose our voice by day 3.
I mean, we had feedback went an hour longer than we were scheduled, so.
I said sure, yeah. Sorry. I was like, oh, I was thinking
These things are like candy. They're so good.
Pretty great. It reminded me of exhaustion sweat.
Actually, I remember looking over and I saw you talking about the movie, so I thought you would just talk about this. No, I said Elise. I said Elise was in the email. No, I saw this. And
Wait, how long are we giving them?
we have 3 more minutes. Okay. I was going to get there until 3.
Like your 3 minutes?
and literal 3 minutes.
It will never, I will never let that bone die.
That's fair. I deserve it.
No.
Oh, shit. What's our ETA? 3 minutes. 3? It's only been one.
Really?
We started at 3:16.
We probably give them 2 minutes to be like, okay, start wrapping up your ideas. If no one's gotten to mention their idea, now's a good time.
That's true. Are we at 2 minutes? We're at 3 minutes, like almost. Give me like, probably like 30 seconds of that before.
I can do that. Okay, guys, you have like, we're going to give you 2 more minutes, so if someone in your group hasn't had a chance to give their opinion or give ideas or whatever, just FYI.
It's 2 minutes now.
See, by the time I ended, my statement was correct.
It was a lie before we started.
No, it just hadn't finished. Does it have to be true at the beginning of the sentence or the end?
It's like, does the straw have 1 hole or 2? Moral conundrum. I don't like that question. It makes me mad, actually. What? Does the straw have 1 or 2 holes?
Neither. Straw is a 3D object, a hole is a 2D concept.
Oh, like that. It sounds philosophical.
No, it's actually geometrical.
I'm mad that you said that. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm mad that you
I'm mad that you said that.
It's like, is a dot a point or a line?
A dot? Mm-hmm. I think it's a point. Why do you line?
Because if you turn it, it might go on forever.
A dot? Mm-hmm. But I think that inherently a dot is a quick...
What if I just shift it? And it's,
It would be never ending, right? Because all sides, a dot is 2-dimensional. Right?
so
You
it could
turn
be
this way.
It could be long. It could just be going this way. As soon as you add a 3rd dimension, it could turn into something different entirely.
I don't think it's a dot anymore.
It's the same coordinates. You just add another one, and then suddenly it goes.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly and don't like that. I don't like it.
You're like,
I reject this. Like, is cereal soup? That's the kind of thing I like. The answer is no.
The answer
Soup has
is
to
I
require
don't care.
I think they've started talking about other things, by the way, so we might be good. Huh? I think they've started talking about other things. Okay,
All right, y'all, time is up. So we're going to have you all share out what it is that you talked about. We'll go ahead and start with our contest runner group.
Wow, that was a fake out.
I got to keep it fun for me.
So our big thing is making sure that the questions you have give to the correct people. So if we're running a whole convention, we're probably not individually running the costume contest. We need to make sure the head of our costume contest is getting those questions and getting those answered. But we would also, as showrunner, like to know what her friend's problem was so we could solve that. So that going forward, our reputation is amazing.
I love that. That was a great answer.
Great.
Can you tell I run some conventions?
You may have a little experience in this.
Did you all talk at all about what the showrunner, like the convention, or the cosplay contest director might do in these situations? Did you talk about that at all?
So pretty much it was making sure that they were clearly communicating all of the requirements, because some conventions, obviously, you're going to get assigned a class regardless of how you think you need to be. Someone may come in thinking, oh, well, I won 2 competitions, and so I'm obviously a journeyman. And they may be like, oh, yeah, no, we're Dragon Con, 2 competitions, I'm going to put you in journeyman. Best of luck.
That's great. That's a great answer. Any feedback from the panel on that?
Yeah, no, I think inherent in it that is Sue might not know what classes are. So you might have to explain the concept of classes in a costume contest, beginner, intermediate, master, and how that goes. But yeah, I think that's had a great.
No, it was a great answer. The paying attention to the detail about her friend didn't have a good time last year is really important.
We have fun at our show.
Yes.
You will
Or
have
else.
fun.
You signed a waiver, you have to have fun.
It says it in what you signed when you watch it back.
Must have fun. No, and I think that's really great too, to just kind of examine what the problems were, because it could be just a misunderstanding between Sue's friend and not necessarily an issue with the show itself. Maybe someone misunderstood something, maybe someone didn't get what was going on, maybe there was like a communication breakdown. So I think that's great, doing that assessment of what's happened and then addressing it and going forward. So lovely, excellent.
Okay, let's ask our judging group, what would you do? Hey.
So I'll say my corporate answer.
Yay!
Yes.
The answer is for any questions you have, I feel like as a judge, it's important to kind of know like who to send them to. It's like you're not going to know all the rules. You're not going to know some of the finer details because that goes more into logistics. And I would assume like a cosplay director or someone with that sort of knowledge would be a better resource. But I think it's just important to kind of know who to point them to because I don't want to give people wrong information, so I'd rather like send them to someone else that might know.
That's good.
The thing that, as judges, that we would know was to tell her about the classes, what we are expecting out of each class and what we are going to be judging each class. That way she'll have an idea of, and let her know that all classes are welcome and not to forget the play portion of cosplays to have fun. So when she comes, number one, have fun, and number two, don't worry about what your skill level is. Just come and enjoy yourself and be proud of the work and we'll do the rest.
Oh, I love the answer. I love
Love
that.
it.
Like, I love that you're like encouraging Sue to like, you might be nervous. This might be your first time, but please don't forget the play part of cosplay. That's really good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you all nailed it. Most of this is not going to be your problem until day of. So.
I will say though, as a judge, I feel it's important that we do know the rules. That's one thing that I would disagree with you on, is that as a judge, you should be very familiar with the rule set that you're judging based on, and what not just you but the coordinators expect of your contestants. So having that knowledge should be like important for you.
Yeah. But I think too, I think there's a caveat to that, and this is the nitty gritty, is that as a judge, if you think someone is breaking the rules, that's not your call, that is the cosplay coordinator's
Absolutely,
call.
yeah,
So
but-
I think it's right, and yes. But yeah, definitely familiarize yourself as your judge so you can do your job, but yeah.
Questions like about like, how do you sign up and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you're
That's
right.
the
That
coordinator's
is definitely the
responsibility,
coordinator, for sure.
absolutely.
Yep,
But
yep.
at the end of the day, you should still.
Yeah, yeah.
Familiarity is good, but you don't have to be
Yeah.
the expert. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not the judgment caller.
Despite being a judge, yes. Okay. How about from our contestant group?
So the first thing I said was I would ask Sue what information she didn't understand, maybe try to break the rules down into more simple guidelines for her so she can understand the basics. What would you say?
Most of the stuff on the website will apply to Sue particularly. They're here. They won't need the advanced and stuff. They just need to know where they need to be, what time they need to be there, what they need ready for the conference.
And another thing that would be like a good thing to do is let's say we're like texting or something, and number one, she's talking about how she doesn't know how to do certain aspects of something. So let's say for her costume, for example, sewing. Number one, she could try for a costume without it, even if it comes to the point where she doesn't need it. Like someone in here knows how to sew. Like if you're going by the literal sense, like we are at this moment in a contest, I know how to sew, for example. So you could just like share the information until everyone's at like a semi-intermediate level. And then also one thing that also be kind of helpful is learning what Sue's friend enjoyed or learning what Sue's friend messed up on to see if Sue has the same questions and therefore like elaborate on them and trying to hope Sue has a better experience than her friend.
Yeah, that was great.
And if she doesn't know what a fill book is, explain it in detail. Maybe send her samples. If her being a novice, she probably doesn't need like pages. It's probably 1 or 2 pages. So just something very simple to show and be like, this is
Cool,
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
Those were incredible answers. Good
Yeah,
job.
you all are best friends. Yeah, you're the support squad too, and I love that you mentioned sharing crafting knowledge. And like, if Sue doesn't know how to sew, and you do, you might like have a sewing party or arrange like a live Discord chat window pop up Google Meet, and like do a crafting workshop. I think that'd be really great.
We
And
love
on-
contestants that like to share.
Yeah, and on a similar vein, being willing to share your own work, like with the build book. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, I don't even have a context of what this word means. Just being like, oh, this is my example, yours can just be these pictures, but this is kind of what they look like. That's a great way to just give them context to something they've never been exposed to.
Another thing that I really love that you all said is that, like, sometimes the rules can just be like this big nebulous pile of words with no context. And while the director kind of has the overall, say of what is and isn't a rule, being there for Sue to be, look, I'm going to control F the information that you're going to need to have, ignore all the rest of it, and if you have questions, email, but, like, here's, like, the highlights, what your class is. Like, this is the time you need to show up, all that good stuff, I think is really, really good. Sometimes rules become word salad. As a person who loves rules, and long rules at that, I recognize I'm a very small group of people who likes that. So yeah, that's great. Yay. Okay. All right, shall I move on to the next scenario? You all are doing great. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. I saw lots of new folks walking in too. You're welcome to either join a group or hang out and participate as your desired participation. So we have, again, we're addressing problems in perspectives of different folks at the contest. So we have the group over here is addressing problems as a contestant. This group is addressing problems as judges. And this group is judging contests or problems as the contest coordinator and or director of the show. So
I think we clarify that you guys aren't necessarily the con director, you are the contest.
Cosplay director.
But I understand the confusion.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did not clarify that, so that's great. Okay, I'll let you all filter as you desire and will not put anyone on the spot. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next scenario. What's up? Go ahead. Okay, great. Craftsmanship judging. So Sue has spent years behind a welding helmet, but this is her first time getting her work assessed by a panel of judges. She's not sure what time she's supposed to be where, but she understands that she's supposed to wear her costume and have it be assessed by a group of big-time professional cosplayers. She's nervous about the experience and doesn't know what to expect. So take a couple minutes in your groups and talk about how you might assist Sue in your specific role, and then we will come back and share. I would tell her to stop. Don't do it. Just kidding.
I laugh at the phrase professional cosplayer
Big time.
uproariously.
Yeah, one follower each. Never been hurt. Never sun sticking their head. Don't even know what EVA film is. Where do I find thread? What's thread?
Yeah, it's like an actor. They're like, oh, my costume's always given to me. I like wearing them. You're like,
It's a voice actor. Did you make them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You should win something. You're like, funny enough.
You're directly in charge of that. Amazing. You're really cool.
You can make that happen.
You could help me.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys want one for your throat?
Ricola.
Ricola, or like lemon and mint.
Yeah, something in the air.
Yeah.
I was fine. I went back in my room.
Yeah, it'll help soothe. I've been talking all weekend, so.
Yeah, between the hotel and talking all the time. Inviting.
This goes till 5.
Yes.
We have
We are literally back to back with closing ceremonies.
Yeah, 5. 5 o'clock. No.
No, but we could open it up to a round table after.
Really? All right, you'll have 2 minutes. Almost there. We have to get up and start. Well, you don't. Your flight's at 10 now. Our flight's at 7.
Your flight is at 7 tomorrow? I'm sorry.
Okay. We'll be home early and I can lay in my bed.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Oh, I think I just saw Carlin walk by. I just saw a gold thing go by. It was like,
I'm going to send her a message and tell her to come to the beds.
1 minute remaining.
We should have brought like a game to play along. Like an on-screen Tetris. For me.
I feel like anyone with ADHD in the group would immediately get distracted.
Not me. I could play. That's real.
Let's be real. That's just what you want to do while we're sitting over here waiting. I have got solitaire on my phone for that when I just get anxious. I just play a quick game of solitaire. Always.
All right, 1 minute left.
It hit midnight. I was like, I would like to die. I'm going to bed now.
I
want some what?
More cheese. I didn't have enough fresh earlier.
I was like, didn't you say it betrayed you already?
I did, but like, it was a good betrayal.
Oh, let's go. There she is. She's so dead. She's so dead. She's very good.
All right, I think you're good. All right, that is time. Hopefully you all have solved all of the world's problems in this 5 minutes we've had. Okay, we are going to start with the judges. Would you like that fake out? That was pretty good. All right, go ahead. All right, how would you solve this problem?
I would focus on trying to, be upbeat and be words or being really nice and stuff. You want
Encouraging.
encouraging. You want them to be excited about telling you about their cosplay. And sometimes, you freeze up in the moment. And you want to be able to just be like, hey, what's your favorite part? You want to start that conversation to kind of get them in the groove of it. Because sometimes, people aren't always ready with their elevator pitch, especially when you're starting out. So that's what we do.
That's a good point. Yeah. It's good. Yeah, as a judge, sometimes you got to do a little prompting and prodding to get them to open up, and you can do that by being really encouraging and having an upbeat and positive attitude. That was a great answer. Okay, that was great.
Yeah.
The contestant group. Let's start with you all. Or go next.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this before prejudging, the day before, or did she just get the email saying she got accepted into the class?
This is just before judging, but it's kind of like the judging experience. So it's kind of yes to all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not choosing my answer.
That's valid.
Yeah,
That's
you can
valid.
give both.
So as someone who, I've done 10 contests over the years.
Oh, look at this nice gentleman.
Hello? Okay.
Yay!
All right. So as someone who's competed in 10 contests over the years, I would have been you need to focus on your favorite parts of your costume. Just instantly talk about what was your favorite thing to make, and just go up from there. And as you're talking, the judges might ask you a question, and then you just answer those questions. And another thing is pick a time slot for your prejudging that you feel comfortable with. Either early in the morning because you don't want anything to mess up your costume, or if you like evening because you don't want to put your costume on until right at the contest.
You're not done with it yet.
Yeah.
You're not done with it yet.
Or you're uncomfortable.
Another thing, so number one, again, if we're going by the literal sense that right at this very second we are entering whatever Sue's entering, then you could tell her hey, this is also, so for example, for me, I could tell her hey, this is my first time doing a contest too. You are not alone in it being the first time. And then also I'm putting down the microphone because microphones make me anxious. Anyway,
Okay, that's
so,
fine.
You could also advise. Okay, you could also advise her when she's super nervous about things hey, don't crunch everything the night before. That's not very wise. Let's see, I stayed up till midnight making these. It's not very wise. Just stay up late in the middle of the night. It just stresses you out way more.
And
That's
also,
great
if
advice.
she's not sure what time she's supposed to be where, find that out before you have to be there, or preferably the day before or the day of, and just be in that area. Don't go out somewhere, go with your friends, or be in a panel. Be in that area.
As someone who is Sue, the things that I would be thinking of are if we have an email with information, I would have that saved somewhere so I could be referring to it constantly. If someone else has questions or if I have questions, I could just pull it up and be this is what we know. If we have questions that aren't answered, who can I text in order to get those answers? If we're arranging, if we can choose what time we can answer or whatever, I would tell Sue, pick whatever time you feel the most comfortable. Some people like going first, I do. Some people like going last. Just make sure you know that ahead of time. Yeah.
I love that. That's great. This is going to be the most supportive green room. You are so great. It's so good. Yeah, anything else? Okay.
Contest runners.
Contest runners.
All right, now that I know my job.
So we did talk heavily about making sure that there's an initial email once she has been accepted, make sure she understands what category she's in, what time she needs to be. I just found out that apparently the new thing is you get to pick your times. I'm old school enough that we assigned times.
I'm the same way.
So weird. Make sure that she understands what she needs to bring, where she needs to park, how she can get to that space. Then closer to her actual scheduled time, get a reminder probably the day before. Hey, Sue, this is what time you're coming in. This is what we need from you. This is how long you're going to have to talk to those judges. This is where you're going to be waiting because you're probably going to get there and someone's probably going to run long or the judges get distracted. So make sure that Sue has all the information she needs and that she has the ability to question if something comes up. If we have assigned the time, she has the ability to follow up and be like, yeah, I don't get up before 4. Good luck. Or be like, hey, I'm bright and early at 8 in the morning. I want to come in earlier. Can I do that? So make sure that she has that person that she can reach out to so that we can then communicate to the judges what time to expect her.
I love that. That's great. That's
I
great.
feel like you can also reassure her about what she should expect from the contest. Like telling her what might happen or what she might need to do and reassuring her about the experience.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be nice. It would be nice if you had a contact person. One or two persons that they can contact to double check. Is this where I have to be at this time?
Yep.
What do I bring? Am I forgetting something?
Yep.
Did something change? Because for this weekend, we found out that there were a few cancellations on things. So is there any changes in time, places, things, whatever?
Yeah.
That would be good.
It's a great point. Checklist for what you need to bring. Yeah.
So I've had some experiences where certain conventions they'll give you a name of the room, but they don't tell you where it's at. So you will spend like 10 minutes.
Include a map.
Include a map. It just helps, especially if you're wearing a costume that blocks your eyesight and you're like running around for 10 minutes trying to find that one room.
Yeah. Yeah, especially since the judging room is usually shoved in a corner far out of the way, and you're like, even if you have the map, you're like, where in God's green earth? I know it's on this level. I know it's on this map. Where is it?
I've run almost late to a few pre-judging because I just could not find the room.
Yeah.
And to add to that, hotels are complicated. Like me and my friend, we took a good few minutes trying to get here. Even after getting directions, we could not figure out where this room was. Hotels are complicated, especially when it's your first time here.
Yep. And I'll also add, though, as a contestant, it's a good idea to do a dry run before the day of, definitely before your judging slot. The onus is a little bit on you as a contestant to figure out your life, right? There's a million things going on. So doing a dry run of where to get from your room to the judging spot and then to the stage, if you can, even bringing parts of your costume that you know are going to be bulky or kind of weird to maneuver in, is a good idea. So that way you'll be ready to go during the day of the contest. Sometimes your brain just shuts off, but if you've got some muscle memory going, you can just figure it out.
Well, and if you do it well before your time, you can ask a staff member or someone, or find. You're like, okay, well, I can't find the room, so now I have to find the information desk.
Yep.
And they might not know, so then they're going to have to call someone. I agree. I think do it before. And if you're an extrovert and you're a contestant, you could be like, hey guys, day before the con, we're going to meet in the lobby at this time. Then we're going to walk to the judging room so we can all find where the heck it is.
Nice.
I just know some people planes run late.
Yeah. And you might not be able to make that, but it might help for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is sort of tangentially related, but again, as a newcomer, I think my strategy, as someone who's also not very competitive, I would be entering this contest with a friend. That in itself would bring a sort of calmness and comfort to where if something did go wrong, I would have someone there that I knew who was in it with me. We could talk and figure it out without freaking out.
I love that. That's a good idea.
Good
I mean, even if you can't compete, like, or your friend can't compete, just having a buddy, like a handler, somebody with you as a support group is like almost necessary for a contest,
Yes,
and we
good
recommend
point.
it.
Good point.
An emotional support person.
Exactly.
I would say like double the time you think it's going to take you to get there because you're going to be in costume, you're going to see other people in costume, they're going to want something to take you to you, vice versa. So always double the time that way, even if you're sitting for a while, you're early on time.
That's very true. Because walking from one place to another is great when there's no one else in there, but it's a entirely different experience once like the convention fills up and you've got lots of human bodies.
I have a poncho for that. No,
That's true. You do have a poncho.
Yeah. Mandy has these amazing ponchos that like say, "Don't take pictures of me."
because we were having a hard time getting from one end of the convention to the other because we kept getting stopped. So I literally had ponchos printed that said cosplayer on cosplayer on break, and it had a bunch of photos of like a no camera sign all over it.
great.
They're very handy. But
very good.
think about that. Like, if you have to get somewhere, do not stop for that photo. Like, be like, hey, I'm sorry, I have to go to judging. Tell that person, no, it's more important that you get to your judging than you stop for that photo.
Great. Cool.
All right, we're going to go to the next scenario. Green room. Somehow Sue makes it through craftsmanship judging and has spoken to the contest director about getting ready for green room. Sue's not really sure what she's supposed to do in green room, but she notices that there are varying levels of energy from enthusiastic to quiet to some clear conflict happening in the corner. Sue isn't sure what she's supposed to use this time for, but wonders if her attitude in green room will impact her score. Discuss. Oh, sorry. Should I clarify what green room is for folks who don't know? You all got it? Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
No, I think you should. So a green room.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
A green room is like, oh God, I can't say holding pen, but I don't know. The green room is where you wait. Like, if you're a contestant, they gather you there early, so A, they know you're still alive. B, they know you're going to walk across the stage and you haven't broken your costume irreparably. And it's just kind of a place to gather you, get you organized, and wait until it's your turn to go on stage.
It's usually about an hour to a half an hour before showtime.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, go forth.
Okay, go forth and discuss.
Thank you for running mics. Oh, I didn't notice. I think we're finding it's happening, or was a friendship's being broken. Oh, also true. The friendship's
having a meltdown.
Maybe a relationship is fine.
Step 1, get popcorn. Does the concierge have popcorn? Step 2, find a microwave. Pop said popcorn.
Part of me is be like, okay, well, this is now something I can focus on as opposed to my nerves and being on stage.
Right?
There's drama. It could be a great story.
Almost drama. I don't even think I've seen drama like go down in a green room other than at Milan.
I've heard.
What happened?
It's the contestant. She wasn't competing. So she was a green card. Should have done it. And the judge's husband was there also. Turns out that we finally triangulated who it was. It was somebody in the band 2 years before. So she's like, it's
She gets in the green room.
because the green room had, there was traffic flow.
Yeah,
And they were like
okay.
the person's hand, but we just
Got
couldn't
it,
see it.
got it.
It is the business.
No, for sure. Interesting. It's just like, well, if you weren't banned before, congrats, you are now banned as a handler.
And then a friend had, one of our friends was competing, actually the same show we met. There was somebody who was laughing, ha-ha-hee-hee with some friends, and they crushed another person's costume. And so they were about to, I think it was really, they got to a fight. It was like, yikes. I'd just find somebody if they were stuck in my costume, because they were fighting. If they were horsing around, I wouldn't fist fight them, but I would do that. They might get cussed out.
The vocal evisceration that would go down.
You son of a mother.
I was like, what the f*** are you doing? Are you the worst? What is wrong with you? Wild.
I know.
Frickin' wild.
They behave themselves. But they don't, because it's cosplay.
What? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god.
It's fun to judge. feel bad for them.
I'm trying to think. One time, all the judges got food poisoning because they got us all Wendy's, and all we can figure is that the lettuce was bad because one of the girls had a salad. One of the girls had a salad during our like so we had a lunch break. Maybe 2 seconds later, she had to grab the bag and like vomit it during someone else's dojo because she just got immediately sick. Like not even an hour later, and then could not stop throwing up for like 3 hours. She had to leave. One of the other ones, I had the only reason we could figure out was that because the other dojo, sandwich, I had really bad diarrhea. Really bad. Like made it through judging, but was like, I've got to go to my room for a minute. And I had chicken nuggets. It was fine. I had nothing. It was like 2 minutes of and like, so like the one who got projectile diarrhea had a sandwich. The one who had really bad indigestion had, had the cylinder, and I had chicken nuggets with nothing in it.
You have 1 minute left, friends.
Yeah. And like still, even at the end, like, the drug and got food poisoning. It was like straight up food poisoning. She couldn't do it anymore. She was like, no, I didn't leave the bathroom. And the other judge, in case she was just like, get up and leave and come back. And I was like, nope, I got it. It's that's
Oh, yeah, just can't do it. Lay in the room, wait for it to evacuate the next one. That's funny. You know?
yeah, that was a time.
Okay, we're ready.
And then were you at the NDK where when King passed it to Becca and she had a seizure during the show? Yeah, she had a seizure during the show and we had to like stop everything. Yeah, it was bad.
Are we ready? I think we're at a minute.
That's working.
All right, friends, we are at time.
Sorry, we didn't give you a warning, but whatever.
Yeah, she
You're cool.
Okay, we're gonna start with.
We haven't started with the contestants first
Okay,
yet.
okay. We'll start with contestants first. Yay!
Yay, contestants! Fellow contestants.
I already went first. I already went first. Okay. Here, yes.
I forgot everything I was going to say. Here you go.
So my first thought would be getting everything that I need ready, of course, but if there is a moment with downtime, I would be doing something to help me relax. Or if I see someone who's kind of freaking out by themselves, I would go over and kind of gently be like, hey, do you need some water? Is there something I can do to calm you down? Just to make sure. I know that there's a level of freak out to where you're not going to be able to do anything, and I wouldn't want to compete against someone who's not doing the best they can. So I would want to calm them down so that they can perform the way they want to.
Oh, that's really sweet. So nice. This is the best green room ever.
First of all, I'd reassure that your attitude in the green room won't impact your score unless you're being like a total not nice person.
Yes.
You were talking more about the anxiety side, if that helps at all.
Oh yeah, if you're anxious, go through things that calm you down, or try to channel the character that you're playing or cosplaying as. So then you won't think of yourself as, I'm going on stage, I'm gonna like freak out and not be able to do anything. You'll just be like, oh, Goku would never be afraid of this. Like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna go Super Saiyan. Like, yeah, just do it that way.
I love that idea.
Channel Goku.
I have no input. I was
Except be
there
a
for half this
non-absentee.
conversation.
Okay, so I'm one of those cosplayers who just likes to torture myself. I have stage fright. And I've been in 10 contests, and I keep doing this to myself. So I have extreme anxiety being on stage, but I like to perform on the ground. So usually when I'm in the green room, I will start practicing the poses. Like, I will listen to find out how many poses we're allowed to do on stage, and then I'll start just going through them until the point that if I do have a moment where I go on autopilot on the stage, my brain already knows what to do. And I usually do poses that my character would do.
That's great. That's great advice.
Yes, it is. I love that, like, your brain will just shut off sometimes when you, even if it's the most seasoned person, even if you have stage fright. So the idea of giving your brain another connection point for what it is you're supposed to do, building up some muscle memory is great. Love it. 10 out of 10. Okay.
I think there was one thing they might have missed, though. So if you are a competitor, because there's more of you than anyone else in that green room probably, if you see something weird happening, go tell one of the staff members. Like if Sue says, something is going on in that corner, like someone is screaming, someone is crying, someone is throwing up, all of those have happened in green rooms. Yeah, no, and it might be, but even if they're just like having a catty fight, you might get up and just be like, something's going on over there. Like, just tell a staff member, there should be a staff member in the green room with you. Just let them know. It might be nothing, it might be none of your business, but if you just let them know and then, mind your own business from there. Yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine, that's why we're here. Yeah. But if,
No, always. After we're on with drinks.
yeah, so if you see something kind of weird happening and you're just like, oh, that person, because it might be none of your business, but if you tell the staff member, they are at least aware of it, and if it's something that needs to be handled, they can be handled. Staff, it drives staff up the wall. And not that it's to blame you, but if they're like, if I had known, I could have addressed it, but people were they didn't want to cause a scene about it, so they didn't let anyone else know, and staff just didn't see it because they're trying to keep track of all of you. So if you see something, let staff know, and then, let it go. Don't be a nosy Nancy, you've done your part, you've alerted the appropriate people, and then they can handle it.
Yes.
Say something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always memorize who's going on stage before you and who's going on stage after you.
Yes.
So if you do kind of split up and hang out in the green room with different people,
Yeah.
you still know where to go when you have
Or if you have to pee, if you have to leave to pee, that way you know where to get back in line.
Good advice. That's great. Okay. Let's do the judges next.
I mean, we'll be honest, we're not in the green room. So there's really not a lot that we can do about it. And again, your attitude in the green room isn't going to impact your score because we don't see it. We don't know about it. Pretty much if you're fist fighting somebody back there, we might say something about that and be like, maybe no.
Yeah.
No.
But
That was an excellent answer. That was an intentionally trick question because we sometimes get judges who are really overzealous of want to get involved in all the stuff, but truly that's not the judge's role. It's the directors and preferably the contestants who can see something, say something, but you're not going to be there to see what's going on. And even if you are, kind of the golden rule, right? Default to the director to help and de-escalate. So
You passed the trick question. Well
yes.
done.
You well past the trick question.
Yeah, all that's our job. Let us do our job.
Yeah. All right,
We have a lot
directors.
of things now. This is the culmination of everything we've been doing. So we have very set times. We expect you in that green room. Sue's already there. That's great. Sue is on time. We love her. We are going to have very clear rules about what you can and cannot do in the green room. We're going to make sure that you have hydration, that you have maybe a repair kit and a lovely large mirror. We're going to have den moms. We're going to have a couple of those running around to help you in case you don't have a
Do
handler.
people know what den moms are?
Den moms, assistants, ninjas. There's so many words. Minions.
Staffers, volunteers.
We're going to have staff in there. Their job is going to be help you. You may have a handler, but we're going to handle the stuff that you can't. Maybe those fistfights in the corner, the person having a panic attack. One of my favorite things for a green room is to have a quiet corner. Sue, if you don't want to talk to anyone, go sit in the quiet corner. It's going to be clearly labeled. You can sit there and you can do whatever makes you happy in that quiet corner. We're going to make sure that the bathrooms are easily accessible for you. We're going to go over what's expected from you on the stage, how to get on the stage, how to get off the stage, where the MC is going to be, if you have music that cues up, if you have audio that cues up, so that you understand what you're looking for and listening for, and to remind you that sometimes our tech guys are amazing, but your CD didn't play. So don't panic. Here's a good idea of what to do. If you jump off our stage, we will escort you from the premises. Don't do that.
I don't know your contest.
We're having that conversation again about last year. Last year.
That was last
No,
year.
trust me, I'm still having flashbacks about it. We are also going to make sure that there is someone available with medical knowledge in case something goes horribly wrong and you need to have that medical assistance. We are going to make sure that everyone is prepared to get up and down from that stage safely.
I love that. What are you? Oh, go ahead.
We're not done.
Okay, please keep going.
We got a lot.
Oh no, you're good. No, I love it.
This is our part of the
We should also reassure Sue what she should use the time for. Like telling her this is a time for her to relax and fix whatever her cosplay might have, like her costume might have messed up on, or whatever she might have.
Could you bring that little microphone just a little
Whatever
closer?
she accidentally misplaced on her costume. We could also tell her that in the green room her attitude will not impact her score because the judges are not inside the green room with her. Therefore, whatever she does in the green room, the judges will not know about.
Yeah, that's great. Good reassurance.
How about the conflict brewing in the corner? What are you as the coordinator going to do? Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes, Officer
that's-
Jennings on the scene.
We called the cops.
So I think that having the den mother assigned is really important. Like just having somebody that is their whole role is kind of keeping an eye on that stuff. And like you guys said, having like being in an environment where contestants feel comfortable being able to talk to a volunteer, having volunteers like clearly labeled, wearing a t-shirt that says volunteer or something so that nobody is in the dark about who that person is. And then also like a little changing area is also, if you've got a place to set that up, having something so that if somebody needs to take their helmet off and that kind of thing and take a breather, they can, so that they don't have to be uncomfortable. Also, this is halfway green room, halfway stage show, but lighting and clearly marked walkways and accessible pathways for people in large armor, people with disabilities, and making sure that it's easy to get in and out of the green room so you can get on and off of the stage safely.
Love that. Excellent. So how might you address the people who are having a minute
Oh, I totally
backstage?
skipped that part.
Oh, no, you're fine. That's okay. That was great. So that's good.
I think honestly, like just having a volunteer like very nicely come up and say, "Hey, is everything okay here, you guys? Like, do we, is there anything I can do to help out?" And if it seems to be something that is an actual real problem and there's not a comfortable way to make it stop, if it's not something that's like, violence, I think that would be a good time to go ahead and just kind of get loud and be like, "All right, everybody, it's time to get in line, get in your order, single file, come on," so that you've by necessity separated those people without making it a spectacle. Just handling it like subtly.
Yes.
Because you don't want to make everybody else stressed about it.
It's true. Cosplay contest directing is truly PR, frankly. So, yes. That's
PR
great.
and security.
PR and security. What's that? It is hurting cats. And sometimes the cats are actually raptors. It's fine.
I would also suggest, like, certain conventions I've been to,
Things run late, so don't stress.
Yes.
So you might be sitting in that green room for an extra 30 minutes because something with the technology has gone haywire. So just people start getting antsy. Just chill. Just chill.
It's just chill.
Story for another later time. Con horror stories.
This in like one of the earlier prompts, but remind her not to forget that there is the word play in cosplay,
Yeah.
and this is supposed to be fun and not supposed to be like. I mean, it's natural to be like stressing at first because you're going up and showing something that you worked hard on. However, there is also supposed to be an aspect of it that's fun, and an aspect of it that you enjoy. And if it's solely just stressing and nervousing to you, then there is probably something wrong.
Great point.
Excellent. All right, next one. We're almost done, friends. Well, we have a couple more. So, stage time, yay! The contest is finally underway after a 15-minute delay, as you mentioned, due to some mysterious tech issue. Sue's worried that the music she's prepared to play during her walk will malfunction and whether or not it will impact her score. She's also terrified of being on stage and is worried there will be X's to boo her off. Sue has not seen any evidence of Simon Cowell, but is nonetheless nervous about doing well on stage and how the audience, the judges, and the other contestants will perceive her. What do we do? Simon,
I was going to ask, I was like, is that a dated reference now? No. You're not.
I am! I thought he was relevant!
Did someone just ask you Simon Cowell?
It was a reality TV show, Judge.
Do we not watch America's Got
jerk.
Talent? America's Got Talent? Judge on America's Got Talent?
Oh my God.
Okay, no,
Just
that's
like
okay.
put me in the grave now.
We're going to have to figure out a new one.
Just get me my Metamucil and put me to bed.
Gordon Ramsay? Is Gordon Ramsay still considered like a communal?
Gordon Ramsay?
If we had used Gordon Ramsay, would you have known we mean someone who's going to yell at you? Okay, Gordon Ramsay.
more relevant.
Gordon
All right.
Ramsay must be the universal. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. Just kill us now. It's fine. I'm literally going to change it to Gordon Ramsay right
My elder millennial is dying inside.
All right. Okay, go ahead. God. That is.
Sorry, grammar nerd.
Oh, I was just doing text speak, but it's fine. No, that's all right. You're welcome. No, never apologize. I'm in actual agony.
Just walk in and.
It's like, yeah, the mean person visual work.
Unless it's an evil villain and everyone hates. But you do everyone hates.
I was like, or whoever your Gen Alpha decided to is the villain for the year.
But that never happens.
He's fine.
Or they're like,
It's like a little side
yeah, they never, I've never heard
it's an alien race.
That's what like my pessimist would be automatically like the superheroes scenario and then make alternatives. Not Stop calling me.
That was rough.
But yeah, I physically I'm in the middle of it's for like an hour. My baby just got a bath.
Yeah. She was
Probably. Also probably just like grandparents. My mother feeds, or my mother, her grandmother feeds her a donut every morning. My mother has a donut, she gets a donut.
She's probably super happy. She's like, all right, never mind.
She's like, whatever.
I'm at grandma's house. I'm going to eat sugar.
Grandma has accepted that this is the only grandchild that I will be providing to the genie house.
No time. Kids are expensive, and the whole process seems very painful and uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know. Plus, I don't want to do it suddenly. So I find something maybe I'm like, I think that ship has sailed. I'm going. Yeah, no more.
Unless you're working. Yeah, that might be.
Maybe this.
But sometimes those are fun.
Well, unless you just enjoy that.
I don't see any here.
I understand.
No one's trying to interest in a long ass time.
Unless you're like a
dinner. Oh my god. Maybe just like go out.
But sometimes we say just like
New connection. Oh, thank you.
I like connection, but I'm also very inherently selfish. I'm like, no, not really. You can go do that. She's like, oh, maybe not.
It's all together.
It would be a bad,
All right, you've got 2 minutes left.
not a great significant other. It's like the thought of so significant other, and just like, no, absolutely not. You want to move here? That feels like too much pressure on me. It's in there.
Right. I know. She was up in the green room. She's like, "Is this the one where I'm a cosplayer?" And I was like, "Yes, it absolutely is." And they're like, "She's like, when did you get those pictures of me?" And I was like, "I have my ways." It's very funny. I love that they made her a professional welder. Like, that's one of my favorite elements of her person. Crafting supplies. Again, socialization. Yeah. This is going to live with me for a long time. This is going to live with me for a while. But just, ouch, man. I'm glad I don't teach college students anymore because that was brutal. They'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? This is not relevant anymore? They're like, I've never heard this word. I'm like, I'm in Maine. I stopped because I just I don't know, just do it and get out. I don't want to. We have technically I am in meetings constantly, and they're all camera recorded, and that was about a minute ago.
Just a dog with a bone. If I get an inside joke, I will never let it die. That's how people end up with terrible nicknames, because I just will not let a nickname go. And I know everyone. Like, my girlfriend, that I dated in high school, she's older than me and still goes by the nickname I made for her when we dated.
It's my favorite what?
I made for her when we dated. She's like, that is her main name. It is. It literally is. No one
It is the best, because they don't have to real word, but I do have to, like... It's like, this is who you are now.
It's just like,
It's the last word is patent pressures.
All right, we're ready to go. Who have we not started with yet? Let's start with the directors. Yay! Directors? Yes, sorry, yes.
The contest.
Sorry, it sounded like judges.
Contest
Oh,
runners.
sorry. We not started with the. It's fine. I've already said it. It's fine. Yeah. Okay.
We
yes.
started with.
Yay!
It's still my show. So obviously, we've had some kind of technical issue, so we're going to remind our contestants, you may not hear the right music, it's okay. This is not what you're being judged on. Go on the stage, have fun. No one knows it's the wrong song but you. Go out, have fun, because someone in that audience is going to think you're the best thing that's come up there. We are all excited for you. Everyone's going to cheer for you. If you're freaked out, don't look at people. Just stare into the distance. Do some great poses. We're going to remind you how to get on the stage safely. We're going to remind you how to get off the stage safely. We're going to remind you where you need to go once you are off the stage. That may be back to the green room. That may be somewhere in the audience. That may be that, I don't know, time to go get ice cream and cookies. We got time. Judges got to judge. Would you like it? Oh, wait, she's got it.
I feel like we could also tell her that it doesn't matter how the audience or judges and other contestants perceive her outfit, because this is just time for her to show.
Sorry, we can barely hear you.
So,
Yeah, hold it. Yeah, hold it.
Because
Here we go.
the judges have already scored her outfit, so it's just really, so it's just really for her to show off the costume just to the audience and the other contestants, and it's mainly just for her to show it off.
Yeah. That's great.
So there's actually, I failed to mention this to you guys, there's a show that I do that I really like this about them. They don't require the stage walk. They require you to be there in case you've won an award, but if you don't want to walk, if that is not what you're there for, they tell you that you don't have to. You can come and sit in the green room, let them know, and then you'll get announced if you get an award. And for some people, that's really, really comforting. And I've seen people that at first they're like, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. And then like right before the show starts, they're like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And it's a good moment.
I love that. Like a hallway cosplay contest. Yeah, I like that. Awesome. Thank y'all. That was great.
Something you can do as a showrunner too is you can build into your time, like build a time with your tech team that you have gone before the event, before even check in for green room, you've gone over all the music and make sure all the music plays.
And all the light cues work.
Yep, so that if something has happened to someone's contestant, it's been corrupted, their CD's scratched, something's wrong, you can tell them when they check in the green room, be like, hey, you have green room for the next 2 hours, your music didn't work, can you resend it to us? Or can we find an alternative online with our tech people? Like you can head those off, and if you can assure Sue, be like, we already checked it, it played fine, we should be good, accidents happen, but we've done our due diligence, it should play, you should be good to go.
All right, let's do judges / Gordon Ramsay /
Get out of my kitchen! I would just say, people are more attuned to your body language and your facial expressions than we really account for. So as a judge, I think the best thing we could do is just good eye contact, soft smiles, and just, be supportive in a emotional way that they can't, you can't verbalize, but maybe they can really sense.
I love that. That's great.
And of course, clapping for them, because they can definitely see the clapping. They can see that we're excited to see them, and we're rooting for them as well.
Yeah.
I say, like, if it's hard to see in the audience, like, even just, like, that's why it's so important, when you are judging them, that you keep them a positive, you know, and, like, encouraging way of speaking with them, so that they feel like they have nothing to fear in terms of the judges. You know?
Yeah.
They know that they're supportive.
I love that. And I'll also note too, there are times when, you can, as a judge, you're not scoring them on the technical malfunctions that are beyond the contestant's control. So making sure that you have that in your mind, okay, well, the music messed up, this wasn't on the contestant. You can judge them on how they, perform, right, when they get on the stage, their actual performance, but very true. You're there to be supportive and smile and be like, it's fine. Give them that encouragement, even like that nonverbals from off stage, and give them their moment to be happy and happy. Ooh, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. True. Yeah.
Yeah. In theory, that's on the website when you sign up. That's part of the rules. So you will know exactly what they're looking at and what they're, what, if you have a scoring rubric, what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
You would, yeah.
If they read the list.
It's a whole other battle.
I will say if you are, again, this is personal preference, you don't have to do this, but I'm a vibes judge again. So if there's a quiet moment on stage when someone's on it, I'm yelling. I'm like, whoa! Because humans are herd animals, and if someone starts cheering and clapping, others will key in and start cheering and clapping. Like they were teasing me, well, not teasing me, but saying thank you. Like last night, I was like dead on my feet. I was literally just like in my chair, in the back like this. I don't remember.
You brought the hype, yeah.
Yeah, like they were like, it's starting, and I'm like, I sat up and went, whoa! Like, if you are a judge, and again, if this is not your personality, I'm not saying you have to do this, but it's something you can think about as a judge to do to help do that. Like if someone's having a hard time, you are super close to them, you can see them. If they're nervous, if the audience isn't hyped, you can be hyped. You can get them to interact. You can be there and be like, yes! Like don't stand up and maybe like cheer for them, but like vocalize, clap for them, smile for them for sure, but you can kind of like prompt the audience to do things. And as a judge, assuming you've probably been to a couple of these, you can feel when the crowd starts lulling and it starts getting awkward for the person on the stage, just yell. Just be like, you can be writing and you can be like, I'm writing notes, oh, it's quiet. Woo! Don't even look up, just keep writing notes and cheer them on. And the rest of the audience will be like, oh, we're yelling, woo! So that's something you can do to kind of help support them, especially novices, beginners, especially. Like, the more excited cheering when they're Naruto running across the stage in sheer panic, the better.
Facts. Okay, let's hear from the contestants.
Yay. So I like to plan for things going wrong because they usually do.
Yes.
And
we love it, Murphy's
my
Law.
cosplay is already done. That's like 70% of my anxiety gone because I'm already sitting there. All I have to do is walk on and walk off. Well, I mean, walk on, pose, do whatever, and walk off. But the music, that would like crush me. Like in the beginning days of cosplay, that would crush me if something went wrong. So I would either download it on my phone, send them an email, like get an aux cable, because everything has an aux cable plug-in, and like tell them that, yeah, you can use this from my phone and play that just in case. And also, I would reassure Sue that no one's looking at the hole that you couldn't patch up properly or you as a person. They're looking at the character, and unless you're like an evil villain that everyone hates, they're not going to boo you. And if it is a villain that they boo, it's probably like accepted for you. You'll be like, oh yeah, everyone hates this character, yeah. Also, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if Sue is nervous, when other people are nervous, more nervous than me, I get less nervous. So I'll be like, I'm gonna cheer for you, Sue. It doesn't matter if no one else is cheering, I will cheer for you, and that'll probably, hopefully, calm Sue down.
This is such a nice green room. I like it.
I definitely agree with cheering on other contestants. I would also remind Sue, if something goes wrong, it's not our fault. If they've got the wrong music, just pretend the right thing is playing. All you need to do is do the steps that you've memorized. You've already been practicing, so you can just let your body do what it needs to do. I also don't think anybody would be booing, but I agree with the cheering thing. I just think you got to remember, we're all here to have fun. This is going to be a very short thing in our lives. Once it's over, we can go do other things. Don't freak out in the moment. Just let it happen.
Yes. Go have ice cream.
I was going to, on the booing thing, because it's come up twice, I've never been in a contest where people have booed that haven't been prompted by the skit to boo. Like, unless it's a bit that the skit is prompting you, I feel like the audience would maul someone alive. Oh, no. If they started booing, like, I feel like someone would turn around and be like, I will end you right now.
It's like cosplayers support cosplayers.
Do I want to know why your hand's raised?
No.
We'll do it after. Let them tell, then you can tell us about your terrible booing. Oh my God.
One thing you can remind her is that they're judging you on your craft, not your character. So, like, they're not judging you based off of you. They're not judging you based off of the character you're doing. They're judging you based on how well you made your costume and stuff. And also, one thing that's just like a general thought that I didn't think of when it was the time to say that is remind her of, like, so for example, let's say there's any type of medical thing that she needs to remember or needs to bring, remind her to bring that because it can completely destroy your entire thing, like your entire act. Like an inhaler, like take your iron
Water.
Take your iron supplements that morning.
Yes, iron supplements.
Also,
Iron
because
supplements.
you're going to be missing dinner.
Yeah.
You're going to be missing dinner.
Maybe.
So bring a snack, take your meds, take your water.
Sit down.
And you're also probably going to be like up and down and up and down and up and down a lot. So like, so remember like your body and its limits and like, let's say your body cannot handle you standing up and down and up and down and up and down a lot. Account for that and like, don't do that.
Accurate, yes. Take care of you. You got to be responsible for your own meat suit, regardless of a contest being there, so.
And if you
Feed
don't
it,
think you
water it.
can, bring someone back to the friend thing. If you get too hyper-focused and don't listen, your meat suit stops sending you signals. Bring someone who a lot of handlers' job is make sure my person doesn't die.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Feed the
bring
gigapet.
someone with you.
To double down on what my friend on the end said and what I said earlier, it's cosplay, man. Just
Yeah.
have
Yes.
fun. We're just here to have fun. Don't take it that serious. It's not your whole life.
Yeah.
How crazy do you look getting into fights with people wearing a cape? I swear. Like, think about the Netflix documentary. Think about the CNN ticker where your picture is fisticuffing someone in a green room while you're wearing a cape. Your insurance isn't going to cover that. Okay, sorry.
Melinda, who are we
Yes,
killing,
yes,
by
we
the
have to
way?
come after. Yes.
Appropriate because it was during the announcement of the best in show where it happens.
What?
Well, okay, so 2 instances in my judging career where I've been, as a judge, I'd say I was booed or the costume was won, but mostly probably at the judges more so than the person who won. I've been booed twice. Once was at a American convention I won't name, but it was a scenario where the best in show went to 2 cowslip kajinkas that were immaculately detailed up close, but the audience couldn't see those details. So they were voting for the audience favorite big group with the big props.
I want to know this location.
Group won best group and not best in show. There was some booing that happened when best in show was announced. And in that scenario, that was something where we even did our best to talk about how, like, we encouraged the audience, these costumes have so many details. Please look at them in person because you're not being able to see these things from a distance. But even then, it still was a thing. You know, usually judges will try to say why, maybe like some key points of wow factors that the contestant brought. That is why they won. The other scenario was a situation where it was tricky because it was an international competition and everyone in the audience is mostly from the UK, probably cheering for Team UK and Team UK didn't win. But it was another scenario too I mean, I think for the most part, people are just excited to be seeing big
Yeah.
costumes. But this was a scenario where at an international competition, also the winners were costumes that maybe had a simpler design than some of the other entrants, but they were immaculate. And maybe in their performance, even though that's 30% of their score, when you have an immaculate costume going against another really immaculate costume, that performance score does make a difference. And the audience doesn't understand that. And it was another scenario where, well, we got booed. So
Oh, wow.
I will say that is
That's
such in the
ridiculous.
minority.
Yeah.
I would say,
Still,
yeah.
like-
The judges got food, not the contestants.
I
Yeah.
mean, yes, but to an extent, the contestants probably
Contest-
felt awful.
Yeah, the contestants who won, it feels shitty for
It
them.
wasn't just us that felt awful. The
Yeah.
contestant felt bad because they felt like, was I not
They
good
won a
enough?
prize.
Right.
They didn't think
Yeah,
yeah.
If the people
Nope,
were mad
time
at
to
the judge
murder
for
everyone
choosing
in that
them,
room.
then
Literally.
Yeah, but then there is also like it still makes the contestant feel awful.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Time to murder everyone in that room.
I know, literally. Yeah.
Well, that contest no longer exists.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I'll kind of add a little bit, like something we as like judges or coordinators can do is kind of like premise things before we make award announcements to assist in this issue, and mentioning that, you know, the judges saw all of these really up close. There's a lot of details that you guys probably can't see from this stage, you know, and just kind of like premise before we even give out awards that, hey, like these guys have spent hours in a judging room in front of the judges, making sure that like everything is perfect, and that can help with like craftsmanship in particular, since that's what we grade on mostly.
Yeah, I love that.
So I feel like this would be where someone who's done contests could talk to Sue and be like, hey, these things happen. I've been to a lot of cons where things have run super late. Just know who your partners are in line. Go to the bathroom real quick. Bring your helper if you need to get out of the costume, because we know there's some builds where you need that extra hand to get something off.
Make sure you can pee in your costume.
Yeah.
Or have someone can help you.
Or have a plan to pee in your costume.
Yeah, have a plan.
Maybe not in it, but you know what I mean.
It also depends on where the green room is located. Sometimes it's in the room with the stage. Sometimes it's in the back creepy hallway of the hotel room where only the staff go. I've been in a few of those. So there might not be any chairs to sit down, and you're going to be standing for like 10, 15, 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
Oh, no.
I've had an hour.
That's, well, you did too.
And so you're like standing. So either if you have a costume where you can sit on the ground, good, sit on the ground. Don't stand. That's a waste of time.
That's a good thing to bring to the directors.
Yeah.
Why are there no chairs?
And then another thing is, if you do have a big build, but you can kind of sit, bring a portable stool that's small enough that you can kind of just like sit on the edge a little bit, or maybe you can actually sit fully on.
Or just tell the coordinator ahead of time. Be like, I don't sit well, I have a stool, do you have one? And they'll be like, yeah, we'll have one in the green room. We're like, cool.
Yeah, if you guys are on your feet for 45 minutes, it's a failure on the coordinator's part of not having a place for after you do your stage. You know, that's their failure, and you'd want to bring that up to them, and hopefully they can remedy that in the future.
You hear that, group 3? We personally blame each and every one of you.
It's not your fault.
I'll go get some chairs.
Yeah.
That's a good code. I love it.
That's great.
Okay,
All right, we are the last one, everyone. So we're into award distribution. After a grueling deliberation for almost 20 minutes, the judges, which, God, 20 minutes? Amazing. I know. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice.
You can tell we all have incredulous. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. For almost 20 whole minutes, the judges go through and announce all of the awards. Sue watches her fellow contestants step on the stage to get awards and is nervous about what getting an award will mean. If she wins, does that mean she's the star cosplayer for forever? If she loses, does that mean she should quit cosplay?
Oh.
Go forth and discuss.
The answer is yes.
Hold out your hand.
The answer is yes to all of it, even mutually exclusive.
I'm going to give you all 3 minutes for this one because it's not that long.
Carlin.
Yeah, go take your picture.
Carlin. Come up and take a photo before I yeet this wig off my head, please. Yeah, we've just been in separate panels.
Y'all have 1 minute left.
You should. That'll be fun.
What's a defining thing that changed how you did contests?
It's like in that year.
Yeah.
That was even as a director.
I think of anything, like any moment when you were like, oh, shit, okay, now change how I do contests. And it might be a personal thing that I realize this about myself, and therefore I will not do this anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna let you dealer's choice who starts. I'm gonna let you dealer's choice who starts. I can't remember who starts first.
All right, time's up. Yay! All right. And judges.
So my point would be, which I'm sorry, I didn't know what your name is, but you already made it, was to like describe why you are awarding what you're awarding to the person, because like you said, in every con I've been to, they usually done that. They've done great leather work, or you know, the detail, just so that gives a little background as to why you're awarding what you're awarding. I think that's a good step to make.
Love it. That's great.
It's like we got really distracted in our conversation, actually, just talking about why it takes
failed
20
the
minutes to deliberate. But ultimately, it's like when you are hyping up these awards too, it's good to make mention, especially like when there is a long deliberation time, to explain like, yeah, this was, I mean, no matter what the deliberation time is, you should be saying how, you know, mentioning how difficult it really was, especially because, you know, sometimes there's only one novice award for 50 novices, and it's really hard to pick. And I mean, that's why judges awards exist. If someone stands out, no matter what the level of craftsmanship is, those are what those awards are for. They can be different circumstantial things, but like, you know, giving that encouragement of like just reassuring all the contestants that we had such a great time seeing everyone's costumes. Everyone just did their all, and there's a lot of heart there. You know, like, say honest things, they're not just the same template of stuff. Say things that obviously it's like, yeah, you probably did have a good time looking at their costumes, and you just want to make sure that everyone knows that regardless of the outcome, everyone did an amazing job, and it was a fun show, you know.
Love that. Agree. Totally agree. That was really good. Thank you.
One thing I like doing as a judge, this is not the word, confidential is not the word, I mean conflicting, I don't know, this is a hot take, controversial, yeah, not everyone likes this, but I think if you're in the right, it's just because you're not right. Anyway, as a judge, I like staying afterwards to let people contest, but if I have someone that like they were neck and neck with, like, it was a really hard decision, I will go to that person and not tell them, hey, we went back and forth a lot, but I'll be like, you were so incredible, I know you didn't win, but I just want you to know we talked about you a lot, your entry was really good, I hope you keep competing, just to kind of give them a verbal boost, even if, you know, hopefully they know there's limited awards, but sometimes that can make a lot of difference to someone, if a judge will find them and just be like, hey, I know you didn't win, but I just think you're amazing. I hope you keep competing, and I loved having you in the judging room, and I just wanted you to know that. And that's all you have to say, but that can sometimes help a lot.
Hello.
Hello.
So as directors, it's no longer our show. It's now the judges' show and the contestants' show. Our job at this point is to make sure people are getting on and off that stage safely, that the judges have all the awards, documents, items that are being given out in the correct order, that those awards have the correct name on it, spelled correctly. And then if the contestant does have a question, oh my God, am I going to have to be, you know, journeyman star forever? We can follow that up in emails if they have questions for us. But at this point, it's about the contestants and the judges.
Love it.
But out of director's point of view, I do think that it shouldn't mean that she should quit cosplaying, since cosplaying should be for her to have fun and choose, like, oh, I thought this was really fun, I should do this again. Not if she didn't get a prize, oh, I didn't get a prize, I'm just not going to continue doing this. Because she can continue and get better and better, and then if she tries doing a contest again, she might win. So yeah, I just think that's great.
I love that.
I think also just something that's like little that makes people happy is if you've got stage photos or if you know somebody in the crowd that's taking them, to go ahead and make sure that they're posted kind of quickly, because that way if you've got people that are a little sad about like not, you know, winning or whatever, just having like a cool like social media shout out online like, oh wow, I looked really cool on stage is a nice little like ego boost. Yeah. So, and also pictures of the winners, obviously.
Excellent. I will say, like, the two scariest parts for contest directing, at least, is right when the show starts and then at dinner when the show is over. Because I don't know if you all, but I just wait for my phone to buzz and, like, somebody's upset about. Okay, sorry. Sorry. So there's like you just wait for the people to just be in your inbox and angry and upset, and you gotta like mitigate that. So unfortunately, it just is your baby until it grows up and goes off to college, which means the actual convention is shut down, and you've sent all the emails and the photos up to the media team. But truly, yeah, it is the goal is to highlight the contestants and the judges for doing a great job, but unfortunately, there's still like that nonsense maintenance to do afterward, when you just want to lay in bed with a burrito and pretend the world doesn't exist.
Burrito and a box wine.
Yes. A box Franzia in this side, a burrito in this side.
And like honestly, it's okay. As a contestant, it's good to remind her, like especially if you've been going for a while, like, hey, if you don't get a prize in this, there are dozens of other people who've competed in dozens of other competitions before and they have not gotten a prize, or like they did not specifically get a prize in this one. Just because you didn't doesn't mean that you're bad at cosplay.
Yes.
It just means there was someone here who's above your level, and especially as a beginner, you don't expect to be on the highest level. And then it's also nice to remind her that like even though it's a prize and you have the right to feel gratified in yourself, it's also not that serious. And like if you lose this time, it is not that big of a deal, and you win this time, I mean, okay, yay, good for you. You are not the star cosplayer forever. Like, we love you, Sue, but you are not going to be the best at this forever and ever and ever.
Yes, just keep remembering that your face on CNN for starting a fight in green room in a cape.
Like, dramatically whip your cape around and then go back to starting another competition.
Yes,
Right.
do you want that? No one wants that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we keep saying it, but I think it's the most important part. We are all here to have a good time. So if you don't win an award, that doesn't really mean much. As long as you are proud of the work you did and you had a good time doing it, you had a good time being on stage, that's what matters. If you didn't like doing contests, you don't have to do contests. You can cosplay without doing that. It's about what you enjoy doing.
No, you go.
Okay, fine. Personally, I'd ride that high of star cosplayer forever if I won an award. I always think of that one year I won that one award. So she can ride that high forever if she wants. But if she loses, that doesn't mean she should quit unless she didn't have a great time. Like if every single process was horrible, if she didn't like waiting, if she was nervous, like so nervous during the green room, if like watching the judges like break down everything. You don't have to go through that again. Mm-hmm. There's people who walk the con halls, never done anything, and they could be like master class at whatever they do. Yeah, and so if she likes it, she doesn't have to go on the stage ever again if she doesn't want to. She can always she doesn't even have to be in the convention hall or on the floor. She can just be like outside posing or whatever. Does she not want to get an award? I can understand being nervous about getting the award. Like, I have to go on there and accept an award in front of all these people, and that means everyone else lost, and now I feel guilty about it. Yeah, I get that. But also, the judges know what they're doing. If you get an award, you deserve the award. If you didn't get an award, that doesn't mean you didn't deserve the award.
Yeah, that's great.
It just meant that there was a tough fight to get that.
Very true.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I do love, even if a con doesn't make it open to like critique, a lot of judges will be willing to give a critique pass. But in a scenario that doesn't happen and there's no time for it, I do think it's helpful when we do have panels like this. I can kind of give people more insight. Because you might also be able to tell, like have those feedback panels or whatever when you basically can explain, well, it really is about who shows up. And like give that encouragement Like, I think it's worthwhile when they have these kind of collision panels at the end of the con, they can have better think about what context, because people will want to come and learn and how they can do better. And even if it's not a direct critique to their costume specifically, knowing what to expect in the next one is so helpful.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing panels.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us pick on you constantly to be on them. Oh God. That's going to take that to my grave as my this was my choice.
You can never close that
I
group.
made this
will-
choice. The worst day of my life was when somebody came up to me and was like, "There's a Discord."
If people don't know what they're talking about, there's a Facebook group that's like cosplay competitions, and it's a amazing resource that can be an entertaining diversion at times. There are some strong feelings, and it's a range. So you get true beginners who ask something, and you're just like, I know someone told you that, and I would like to punch them, like type of thing. Like just people come in there who have been told just nonsense garbage, and you just have to be like, no.
Or some people that just see their foot and aim a gun right at it and shoot.
Yeah.
That's the other half.
But that's Schadenfreude.
Yes.
Did you have something?
I think this is also the time where she'll learn what kind of cosplayer she is.
Yes. Self-awareness.
One, like she, this could have been a bad experience. She doesn't want to do contest again, but she still wants to cosplay. So she'll maybe just walk around the con, maybe do photo shoots. Great, that's great. Then there's the person who's like, I'm going to give this 3 more tries or 2 more tries, and I'll see if I want to do contests again in the future. And, they'll give that 3 limit. Hey, after the 3rd one, I'm done. This is too much stress. I don't like this time crunching. Don't like doing the build book. Don't like trying to figure out how to impress judges. I'm done. And then there's people who just want to be on stage and just love the limelight. And then there's the 4th kind of person who just likes a challenge. They like the competition. They like the mindset of competing against others and seeing what they could do to do better, to try to get to that next step.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm one of those people who
I love that. And I think you made a really, really good point, right? Competitions aren't for everyone. They're not even for every judge, and they're not even for every director. I've known several directors who quit right in the middle of the show, which was bad. Please don't do that. But if you realize that this is a pressure that I can't deal with, I don't want people to assess my work, or I don't want to assess the work of others, it's difficult. So I think self-awareness is so important in competition. So that's great.
And I think that can also be, how do I want to phrase this? Also identifying an aspect of it, like maybe you don't like doing it solo and you like doing it in a group. Maybe you did it in a group, but you're like, that friend is someone I love, but I did not enjoy competing with them. And that's fine. You just kind of have to be, as you said, honest about yourself, self-awareness, and have almost like a decompress with yourself and talk to others too. One thing I like to do, because if there's kind of 2 ways I think that the competitors, again, know thyself. Like, feel your feels, totally okay if you're disappointed you didn't win. Go cry in your shower. That's fine. Everyone gets it. Alternatively, what I do is I go talk to other people around me. Either I'm like, yes, social media, get out your phones now. We can talk and we can pull out our phones. Or I'm just like, I cannot wait to yeet this wig off my head and eat a pizza. Yes. Like, I will immediately start talking about the positive things I'm looking to do afterwards to kind of just change the narrative so that you don't get stuck in that circular cycle. You can switch to something that you're looking forward to later. That doesn't work for everyone. Sometimes you're just like, nope, I'm not ready to feel something else right now. I need to sit with this for a little while, and that's fine. But I feel like if you're someone who's okay with it, but you see someone else having a hard time, maybe kind of try and preempt them to be like, man, are you ready to be out of these shoes? I am definitely ready to be out of these shoes. Let's go eat something.
I've made reservations for restaurants during deliberation. For what I'm going to do afterward. You're like, I got
As a competitor.
As a competitor, not as a judge. Dang it.
Canceled.
Hold on, we'll judge in a minute. I got to get my reservation.
I'm putting in my order.
No.
I also have to say, don't be afraid to accept if you're one of those people who want challenges.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are always like, oh, this is fun, you don't need to do anything. But accept the fact that you might be one of those people who wants the challenge.
Yeah. There's a lot.
All right. Yes, we're gonna go ahead because we've got just a little bit of time left. So yay! Soon the MCs get to Best in Show, and she was shocked out of her mind. Sue's the winner. She's so honored to have won, but understands it was in large part to the advice she's gotten so far.
Well done, guys.
So this last chunk we're gonna talk through together. I love how you said dinner reservation because that's Sue the granting master. After the awards have been distributed, I did not tell her why I asked her for pictures of herself, by the way, and so this is great. Anyway,
Sue's the con organizer, by the way.
Sue's the con organizer, and she's in on the joke. It's fine. After the awards have been distributed, Sue is elated, but sees that some of her fellow contestants look disappointed. One contestant's wandering around asking to speak to the show organizer, and another wants to find the judges to get feedback right then and there. Sue is unsure of how to navigate all of this, but knows that the person crying and immediately pulling up Instagram to complain about losing may not be making the best decision. Sue is unsure of what to say to the judges, the organizer, or fellow contestants. She also wants to go home and enjoy some delicious Kansas City barbecue to commemorate her win. So other than filling ribs with Casey Masterpiece, what is it that Sue should do, and kind of what are your thoughts about this post-show arrangement of feelings? And we'll just do it together as a group.
I feel like Sue should reassure her fellow contestants that even though they didn't win, that doesn't mean that they didn't do a really good job.
That's great. I love that. That's great.
So I found a lot of times when people win awards, if you go and you're like congratulating them, they're like, oh wow, thanks, I didn't like this thing, like don't, but accept your win gracefully, really be like, wow, thanks, I'm so proud of me, like, and then also I just as like a personal rule, try and find something nice to say about everybody's like costume in general, just because like everybody worked hard and there's always something cool to see, so I think especially to be a graceful winner, being able to be like, your blank was also really fantastic, because that makes them feel good, because right now you're the guy that they're like, whoa, they're so cool. So it's a nice thing to do.
I love that.
And then obviously, thank you judges, and maybe like give your organizer some space to breathe.
Yes. Yes. Everyone.
And maybe sick the den mom on the Instagram loser.
There you go. Yeah.
Flask. The post-show flask.
Also along those lines that she was saying, if you won and you see somebody that didn't make the cut, go up to them. Hey, you should have won. I like your costume more than I like mine. You look better. You know, try to make them feel better.
Yeah, and you don't have to downgrade yourself either. You can say
No.
we both look great. Congratulations,
Congrats,
Sue!
Sue.
Yay! You did it! You did it!
And here comes in the queen.
Any other thoughts? Yeah.
Sue's still here.
She's back there.
I would want to go home and just eat. Like I'd be out of there, and I probably wouldn't be focused on anyone else because I'm just trying to leave, get out of the big outfit, get out of everything. But if I saw someone crying, I wouldn't be able to leave. Like, I'll be like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Well, no, are you okay? But like, how are you doing? Is there anything I can do to help? I'm not sure about the other stuff though, but yeah.
Okay.
I think it would depend on how late everything ran. So I usually, when I compete, I kind of mingle for a little bit, but if it ran super late, it's like a 5-minute mingle, and I'm booking it to change and get some food, because 1, my head hurts probably from the wig. 2, if we ran that late, dinner is over, it's probably 9 o'clock at night, and I want to order a pizza and like chow down. So like it depends on how things ran. And of course, if you are one of the winners, that means you also gotta take some time, because they're gonna do photos on stage. So that's gonna take about maybe 10, 15 minutes, depending on how many awards they give out. So it just kind of depends on who you are in that room at that time. Are you the one who won? Are you the person crying? Or are you the person who's just like booking it out of the room? But I usually, depending on the situation, I give myself 5 to 20 minutes, because if you are running late, they want you out of that room as soon as possible because that rave might be happening in that same room, and they need to set up the DJ.
Yes. All right, we have just a couple minutes left, so if, yeah.
And one thing, similar. One thing that doesn't have to do with the post-show slide and more of just this show in general. Thank you for hosting this, because as someone who wants to participate in contests in the future with this has actually been really helpful when it comes to learning contests.
Thank you so much. That's very kind to say. Thank you. Yeah. I guess we can get out of here on time. We'll just do a few closing remarks. Yeah, we did it. Sue did it. Yay! Where's Sue? Did she leave? Yeah, when she comes back in, we'll put the slide back up and copy.
Ready for closing
Yes,
ceremonies.
yeah. Okay, so the other thing I will note, and this might be controversial, it's not controversial, but I think it is good to take a beat regardless of whether you won or lost before you ask the judges for feedback, because you were in the moment. Go have a carbohydrate, a protein, and a nap, and have laughed about something prior to asking the judges for feedback. At some of our shows, you don't want to dump your full feelings onto somebody, right? And we actually have a rule at some of our shows too that you can't ask the judges right after the show. We shuttle them out quickly so that way they can just go. Because there's been contestants that sometimes maybe don't handle the loss as gracefully as you'd like, and we just kind of prevent that from happening.
To follow that up also, all of those things before going onto the internet and bitching.
Yes. Accurate. Yes.
Save yourself some headache, because contest coordinators, we're in this contest support group, most of us, the coordinators, judges, we know when that kind of poor sportsmanship happens, and don't be a poor sport. Everybody wants to win, but it all matters. What it comes down to is who shows up at the contest that day. And you may make an amazing costume and you might lose, but there are other contests to be able to take it to, and that's okay. And it's okay to be sad about it, but don't go shooting that on the internet and then hurting yourself in your ability to participate in events in the future.
I love that point. That's a great point. And I love what you said too about the internet piece, because truly that, while it doesn't necessarily impact your score in green room, there are some contests, international contests in particular, that would judge your behavior, and that impacts your eligibility to be in a contest. So online, they will do a social media scrub, and if you're not going to represent your country well or your host location well, that will impact your ability to win. So, and then it's just not a good look. It's not cute. So thank you for saying that.
We all talk.
We all talk.
And the community is not very large. We know when things like that happen, and we don't want anybody to be a poor sport. We're all in this just to have fun.
You needed this?
Oh, yeah. Also, being a loser is a mentality, not to be a gym bro, but you didn't win an award. That doesn't mean you lost. You had fun, right? You're supposed to have fun. Okay? So don't be a loser, okay? Yeah.
Don't be a loser, even though you lost.
Don't be a loser.
Declared that you
I love that.
something, or that you were at the top. Losing is when it's explicitly declared that you did not get something and that you were at the bottom. Most of the time, you are never told that you were at the bottom when in a convention.
They're not ranking you. Yeah.
No one's at. Here's.
You've got the top,
Yeah.
and then you've got the middle section that ranges to the bottom.
So I'm going to run through these other points real quickly, and then we'll turn it over for folks to share additional thoughts, or also if you have questions for about 5 minutes. I'm skipping the first one and the second one and the third one. Okay. Making sure that you include DE&I in your work, and I think that's important from all of the areas that we talked about today, right? Something as simple as having chairs in the space is really important. Something as simple as allowing someone to have a panic attack and giving them a quiet corner to be in is important, and not letting that impact their score. Something as important as hey, remember to take your medication if you need that before you get into the showtime. Those are all really, really important. So just always think about how someone who doesn't have the same access that you might have, or others may have, or may not have those privileges, may be in that space, and how we can make that a little bit easier for them. And also having your rules, not to have anything incendiary, no incendiary costumes, right? No blackface, no Nazis. You'd be surprised at some things people try to sneak in. Yes. Yes, I see you. I will get to you, I promise. Good question. So DE&I is diversity, equity, and inclusion. I did a poor job explaining. Thank you for asking. Yes. So also some things from the series. Please take those thoughts back and think through how you might make life easier for your fellow contestant, your fellow showrunner, your fellow judges. And then, I think most of these questions, which is inessential, but what's that? Sorry. Okay, got it. And so, just thinking through things. So thank you all so much for your time today. I'm going to leave it on the Sue picture because it gives me a lot of joy. So, yay. Thank you all so much. Go Sue.
All right, we have a few minutes. Any questions, lingering thoughts, moments of triumph? Think of-
And interpreters, because
Yeah.
yes, we don't have like sign language or interpreters available, and that plus deaf people cosplay.
Yes, exactly. There's a wonderful organization called Nerdterpreter, and their whole point is interpreting for pop culture events because there's lingo, there's terms, there's like stuff. They're wonderful. They're wonderful people.
This is cosplay, I think, something like that.
Yeah, they're great. So I totally agree with you. Having interpreters is super important.
Another thing is the like wheelchair accessibility.
Yeah.
So there was a sewist that made the costume, but she couldn't go on the stage with the wheelchair.
Well, she made, so I'll clarify that for the contest last night. She actually made the Anastasia that came on the stage. That was her model that she made. I wish we could have had her come up on the stage, and that's maybe something we can talk about in the future, and making sure that we're even more accessible as an event. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and sometimes you're at the mercy of whatever the facility gives you, and so you have to just kind of to make decisions on the fly. But it's about being prepared to make those decisions on the fly. So yeah, that's great. Anyone else? Yeah.
I just wanted to make a point earlier about like when I had explained this terrible scenarios that happened to me. That I just wanted to disclaimer that a lot of that was a long time ago, and I do feel like as a cosplay has become more well known, there's a lot more people who are supportive in the audience, so it doesn't happen as often. But whenever it does, it's usually like some big competition, like maybe WitchCon or things like that, where I go so in costume, like people don't understand why, and it's sometimes it happens, and but in most cases, in those cases, a lot of those people also I've seen, yeah, it's just normal. It's not people who know cosplay the same way you do. So don't let that bother you. But also just but in a lot of those scenarios, those people do either they more often than not do handle it gracefully themselves. Like in one of those scenarios, the person who did win that, she was quick to go on her social and be like, well, I know I deserve this because I mean, she didn't word it that way, but she's like, I know that this isn't like, maybe people may not agree, but just so you know, she kind of just broke down like the rules of how the presentation works. It's like the presentation almost just as important because you are judging the maximum. So a lot of these people who are winning best in show are people who it's not their first rodeo, and so usually it's okay. It's usually not affecting novices, in the same way that it affects, but it happens. But it's not. I don't want that to ever be discouraging someone from doing it because more often than not, it's never going to come.
Yes, that's
I
true.
think that's part of a larger point is if you have a bad experience, and it might happen, especially the more you compete, you'll run into one or two, or in either it's not a great event as a whole, or it's just an off year. If you don't completely get burned out, and maybe you do, and maybe you never enter again, and that's total bring yourself joy. Don't do something you don't enjoy. But try it at a different place. Try different contests. The rules are different. The atmosphere is different. The competitive level's different. Like maybe you love being on stage, but you don't like super competitive contests and you want to do more laid back ones. Maybe you only like super competitive contests. Maybe you don't like competing yourself, but you really love being a volunteer in the green room and helping out like you like being involved in the event, but you don't like being one of the competitors and you don't have the experience to the judge, so you volunteer to be one of the den moms. There's lots of areas in the contest, as this proves, that you can, whatever your level of experience, whatever your background is, you can help be a part of it. So kind of find your niche that brings you joy with them and go with that.
All right, that's everything. Thank you all again so much. I so appreciate it.